to the Djinn's treasure. Today we're gonna wrap a ring. Not just any ring. We're gonna wrap this beautiful specimen of a tiger eye. Blue tiger eye, if I'm not mistaken. You see that little shimmer of dark blue along with those golden ridges? That's what we're gonna wrap today. We're gonna wrap it into a ring. So today, what we're gonna use is probably about a foot each in length. We're gonna use 4 of these 20 gauge wires. This is copper wire. And what we're gonna do is a style of ring that I call the woven ring. So the first thing you wanna do with your 4 wires is just kind of find the center of it, right? And it's almost like you're almost sculpting the metal and you're working it back and forth. And the idea is that by doing this, you're getting the 4 of these to align with one another. Now it's not going to be pretty on the outside. You can see this is still quite mangled, but where we're going to begin is in the center. And so it's important for the center to be nice and straight. So the first thing that we're going to do actually is take our wire and split it in half so that there's going to be 2 of each wire. And I guess I see how it matters a little bit. You don't want to let these guys be completely tangled with one another because, as you can see, I'm struggling through this. So take note of this struggle and learn from my mistake. Don't let it get tangled on the ends. At least not yet. Alright, so now that we've got a split there, what we're going to do is we're going to bend this top one up, and then we're going to bend it towards us, and then down. And for the other one, the bottom one, we're going to bend it away from us, up and over. And as we bend over, we're pinching right here where I've created this angle. So I pinch, and then I twist. So I've twisted a little bit of you see how it's created a little zig in the back there? Now we're going to do the same thing with the first wire. We're going to bend it up, and then we're going to work the 2 of them so that they create a knot or a cross, a full cross. And then what we're going to do is the same thing on the other side. So it's important to switch your wires. So if this is the top wire, when they cross again, this top wire will be the bottom wire. So let me show you that. I bend it down and then push it away from me while I bend this. What was once the bottom wire is now crossing over to be the top wire. You see how I did that? And then you'll bend it straight. And then you can pinch down in the middle where they cross on both ends and just work that back and forth. And that's what kind of... Our tiger almost escaped. So this is what you do. You work it back and forth. And what that does is it balances out this weave. So as I weave along, twisting this one up and this one down. And by the way, this is a technique that I would probably say is like a novice. I wouldn't suggest this for beginners, maybe amateurs at best. The thing is that it's really hard on your fingers, especially with a 20 gauge. Now, I suppose there's a way around that. You could go out and get yourself some dead soft wire, which is a type of wire that is especially soft and malleable, comparable to gold. If you didn't know, gold is a very soft and malleable metal that a gold nugget, you could almost squish it in your hand. So I'm weaving back and forth and I'm switching off my side. So I do have a tendency to be more dominant wiring out in this direction to the left. So you'll notice that what I'll do occasionally is switch the wire around And that way I maintain a balance, because I started in the middle, right? And I want to work out on both ends. So that way when it eats up the length, these two guys, they stay balanced with one another. So you can see, it looks like this one might be slightly taller. So I'll switch around to that end and then work that into the next weave. And then as I trudge along here, I want to make sure that I don't get caught up in the, which happens so often, just caught up in the repetitive pattern. That I want to make sure that I can wrap this, because what this is the ring band, right? Where's my tool? I left my tool in the car. Let's see if I can find a makeshift tool. If nothing else, I could use my finger, but let's try this. So for example, if this were to be a ring, we'd want to wrap it around our instrument here and then make sure that we're not weaving too much. There's still a gap, so I still have a bit of weaving to do. Another thing I could do, really, I should just, it's a ring, I should just use my finger. But you see how I want to weave it all the way. They're not quite to meet each other at the other end yet, but I would say maybe one or two more on each side. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll open it back up, and we could even, just for fun, we could bend this all the way out and switch the sides. So instead of Ewing curving upwards like that, it's now curving down, and that just better serves our function of getting the frame nice and balanced, these weaves nice and balanced, so there's no odd one that's looks funny, stands out because it wasn't as good a weave as the others. So I've woven once more on each side, and you can see I used a lot of wire. A foot might even be too much, but I do recommend for your first time, my number one rule of wire wrapping is you want to make sure that you overestimate the amount of wire that you're going to need, because if you try to be frugal and get it precise, but then your calculations are off and you're short, well, then you're not going to be able to finish your ring, and that's always an unfortunate thing. So I'll put my finger back in there, and I can see that it's ready. I'm ready to close that gap. So the thing that we're going to do, we're going to take this tiger eye bead here, and we're going to pick eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Doesn't really matter. I gotta like finish the catch a tiger by a toe because it's a tiger eye. Pun intended. So it doesn't matter which wire you choose, you can use any of them, but make sure that if you choose this or that or this or that, that you do use the bottom or the closest wire to the inside of the window and not the outside wire. Right, so we're gonna pick our inside wire and thread that tiger through and send it home all the way to its, I won't say cage, it's not a cage, it's a frame. And then we're gonna take both of these wires, and then we're gonna tuck, I need a cut. I'm gonna cut some of this because that's just too much. It's too much. And I can do something about it. Because we need less, because what we're gonna do is take these ends and weave them through. So you see how the bead came around, and then I threaded it through the ring finger hole, and then back up top here. So you see how it came around, and then now it's there. And you notice this opened up a little bit to a window, but that's fine. Don't worry about that. Don't panic. What we want to do is make sure that our frame is still perfect for this bead. So you see when I brought it back together, when I push this down together to close on the bead, it opens up more of a gap here. And I want to make sure that I eat, by pulling that through, I eat that gap up. And then I can even just wrap this around here between this last woven, this last weave and the bead on the other end. And I also, as I do this, I want to make sure that the idea is that the bead protrudes upwards a little bit, slightly more than, we don't want it to sink down because we want it to show. The idea is that this is a very simple and elegant style and it shows the stone well. That's the intention. So as I bring, so you see, hold on, let me stop and back up. So these two wires, bring it closer here. These two wires here are the ones that came through and wrapped around, and now they're coming down here, right? So on the other side, we have these two wires, and it's these two wires that we want to bring around, and we want to make sure that if this between the two strands here, this one is the inner one, right? Because it's touching the bead. We want to make sure that it maintains staying the inner one all the way around the bead. You get what I'm saying? So that inside, the one that my finger is touching threads through, and it's still the one that's touching the bead. And then it can wrap around, and I'll cut these too because I don't need that too much length. And I can thread this through the ring just like I did with its partners over here. So now we have all four of these wires have threaded over here. Now we're ready to take a look at the other side. So this one wants to match the symmetry, well, what would have been the symmetry, except for there will be no symmetry because this one threaded through the bead. But if it had not, it would have followed suit with this one, this wire coming around here, and then wrapped around the other end. So that's what this is going to do. It's going to come over here. Well, actually, let's take care of this right here, right now, once and for all. Cut off these extras and these ones too. And then now we're ready to get back to the show. So I apologize for that, but it's too much length. So we have these wires. They're going to come around. The tips, we're going to poke through the ring hole, just like the other one, just like on the other side, and pull that through, and then just keep the symmetry going. Now there's symmetry because now I'm weaving it around the top of this, just like I did over here, which we will do with this one. So these ones, they're going to be coming out underneath this wire. So we know that this wire has to weave up and over to unite with this one here. And we're going to weave it through the ring hole. And then once more over to meet up with its buddies. So now we have 4 over here and 4 over here. And that essentially is the end of the job. There's a lot of different ways you could play with and style up your own design for a finish. But for me, to keep it simple, what I'll do is I'm going to clip off more of these wires and just tuck the tip ends underneath. So you see where these two come across from the bottom and then weave through over, following the bead there. Well, I don't know if that's right, following the bead, but these two right here, one and two, these two come around through all the way over the top. And then I'm going to clip like just shy, or like right here, leaving these nubs. And then I'm going to take those nubs and tuck them in to line up right next to these two. All right, so let me show you how I do that. Clip, and that's good enough. I want to leave like a good amount of a nub that it can wrap around that surface area. So here we go. We're going to take our flats now. I always use the flats for this finish. And we're just going to coil it. And then now you see how they're lined up and they're ready. This is why I use the flats, because we're ready to just press those guys flat. All right, so here we go. You see where they ended right there? Tucked in, and that's not pokey. That's perfect. It's tucked in, not bothering anyone. For this one, I want to cover up that where it threads through the hole. I want to cover up the hole. So what I'm going to do is come up with a little bit of a style here. I'm gonna clip off, but I left a little bit more than a nub, maybe like a double nub, right? And then with the needle nose pliers now, I'm gonna aim to tuck it in. I could even take both of them at once. You see I'm curling the needle nose pliers. I'm like rolling, I pinch and roll. And then now they're tucked in, but I'm gonna finish with the flats by flattening that out, and they're tucked in just a little better. It's a bit sloppy, I'll admit. It was just something I was kind of experimental and trying out. On this side, we're gonna have a much cleaner finish because both of these wires, well actually these two, there'll be some symmetry. I already know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna clip off. So there's a little bit of an extended nub, maybe a nub and a half, and I'm gonna one by one pinch and curl in that little gap between the wire and the bead. I'm gonna aim to tuck that tip and curl it tucked in there, and then this one will follow. I want to be careful not to scratch the bead. I know that this tiger eye is pretty tough. It is a quartz after all, so it could sustain a little bit of scratching, but there are some other stones out there that are more fragile, so you want to be careful with your tip ends, and also your pliers as well can scratch and damage your crystals, so be wary. And then for this one, we're going to clip off just like the first one. We're going to clip off one full nub length, and this is a nub length right here, just enough for these two fingers popping up to get captured by the flats and then curled and pressed down flat. And there we have our tiger eye ring. Actually kind of fits me quite well. Thank you. Actually, before we finish, I noticed it's a bit crooked here. No worries. A little bit of play, and especially if you have the correct tool, like the cylinder ring sizer tool. Can't think of the name. I don't know that I ever knew the name, but that tool. Finding something like that would help create a more perfect circle, as well as any crookedness on the band here. But all in all, it's a pretty decent job. I think that with more practice, anyone could really master this style. And I'm not going to claim it as my own, so it's a freestyle.